Okay, so here I am on top of your roof, and it looks like at one point somebody tried to stretch the life out of this with coating, but the problem is, as you can see by these deposits, this is an old hot tar roof, commonly called a hot asphalt roof. So what that means is the likelihood is this thing was put on originally 25, 30 years ago, and the lived testimony of that is this blistering that's happening everywhere. Once water starts to get under a surface where it's no longer watertight, the water vapor gets underneath there, and then that water vapor, when the sun comes out, tries to dry, and then it creates these bubbles. The bubbles continue expanding until they burst. And so it's not one or two or a section here or there. Not only do you have water that's getting underneath there, but you also have entire sections of your roof which are completely dilapidated. And coating, it's like if you have wood that's chipping and crumbling apart like this, and you paint it, it's not solving the crumbling apart problem. Aluminum coating, a lot of people don't understand, is not a waterproofer. What it is, it's a reflectant as a protector from UV rays, which ultimately dry out and destroy your roof over the long term. Here's another bubble. This one's going to be a big one. Look at that. Can you see that? It's almost palm size. So water is getting underneath the surface just because it's so old. Because like I said, aluminum coating is not a waterproofer. It is a reflectant. But the problem is, just due to the age of your roof itself, it's become impermeable. And it's not permeable, it's impermeable, and you have all these areas that lend testimony to that fact. Like you have chunks of roof that are washing away here. So this is at the head, on the back of the pit roof. You have fissures here, fissures here. This is an old, you can see the old asphalt lines where they coated. And although it was what we called a 4-ply roof back in the 90s, look, you've got a hole there. Now imagine if you had a hole like that on your tire, obviously. And so the smallest thing there, or here where the material is chipping and washing away, water gets underneath, and although it's called a flat roof, it does have a slope. And so what winds up happening is the water gets in, travels downward, starts to expand. Again, so many times people try to take the cheap way out. And I guess if you're doing a flip and moving in 90 days, that makes sense. But if you're going to stay in the house for any length of time, and this is the middle of the roof, just to give you an idea of where we're at. So the head is dilapidated, crumbling apart, split, cracked. Again, imagine your tire looked like this. How far would you be able to drive? And so if air can get out of cracks like this, here's my shoe for comparison, that's a size 11. If air can get out of cracks like this, the water can certainly get in it. What's the proof of that? These bubbles, which is where the water is running down the slope of the flat roof, and then the sun hits it, it heats up. Look at this. I don't want to push on this because I don't know how ready you are to go, but you don't have to be a roofer, again, to know that any of one of these hundreds of splits in the material, to just coat it, is almost like throwing money out the window. Because aluminum coating, fiber, even a fiber aluminum coating, is not a waterproofer. It's merely a UV reflectant. So roughly this is about 9.5 square. So if you were to put a new rubber roofing system down on this, new 20-year rubber roofing system down on this, new edge metal capping around, clean this up, new custom capping going around, build up that area, reflash everything, and set rubber to give you a 20-year roof out of this, you're probably looking at about, I would say 36 to 4. There's some wiggle room on that if anyone is a, look at this, you can see that from all the way over there, sorry. There's some wiggle room on that, obviously, depending on the urgency that you want to do this. But yeah, your ballpark for this, as far as an industry standard, is about 4 Maybe the lowest is 36. Anybody offers you a coating, tell them to get off your property, because coating is not a waterproofer. There's that water coming out from underneath. I don't want to push on this too much because, like I said, it is dilapidated. But yeah, I would definitely recommend you get this done before winter.